Socialism does not mean free stuff. Find out why here on this edition of New Socialist Era, bringing it to you. As always do, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you like, you leave a comment. I always love seeing people in the comments section. If you follow me on Twitter at New Socialist Era, there's it is up there. I'll follow you back, even if you're right wing. So, can someone out there help me? Anyone really? Tell me how and why socialism became known as the thing that means free stuff, or at least colloquially among the people. Oh, socialism is free programs and shit. Like, could someone out there help me? Like, how did that happen? I mean, is it just nonstop capitalist propaganda? Anything to do with collectivism, or even if it's collectivism, you have to pay for, like the post office. I mean, yeah, like the United States Post Office is a government-ran operation, and the employees work for the state, or along them lines. But you still got to pay for the service. Still got to pay for the stamps and whatever else you need. It isn't free. So, and to a degree, I would consider the United States Postal Service to be quasi-socialist, maybe. But if that organization was really in the hands of the workers, under the control of the workers, or at least partial control, then I would consider it much more socialist. But for me, that seems to be more like a state-run operation, not necessarily socialist in and of itself. But even the dictionary definition says, like, socialist organizations or programs or whatever, they can still be operated by the community, whatever, and the word community can mean literally the community, or it can mean just a communal group of workers who collectively own a business and run it. So community doesn't always necessarily have to mean one thing. I mean, I know that there's different types of socialism depending on how it's implemented, but I don't really see in those definitions, like, where does it say socialism means free stuff. Now, in some of those definitions, you see the word distributive, or to distribute. But even then, even though like the postal service, even though they distribute a service, you still gotta pay for it. I mean, it's a deficit neutral kind of situation. You pay for it and you use it, but it's not free. Or at least for the most part. I'm sure there are some free services within it, maybe, if you qualify, but by and large, you pay for the service of, say, the postal service. So it's not free stuff. You still gotta pay for it. So could somebody out there really let me know how and possibly why socialism got labeled this thing that's, oh, it's free stuff and it's funded by capitalism. And that's just not true. Socialism is when the workers own and control the means of production of a business. And you got some people out there like, well, what does means of production mean? They're like, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's how businesses are structured and how they're operated to do their thing, to facilitate their business. Holy shit! Like, how obtuse do you gotta fucking be? But yeah, it's just really strange to me. All this, I keep asking myself, like, where and how did this shit happen? Socialism gets slapped with a label of free shit. I mean, look, under capitalism, you can have free samples, free trials, your first month off, your first 3 months off. You can still have free stuff under there. I mean, I understand it's done for different reasons. It's to entice you to use the service, but still, it's free stuff nonetheless. So you can still have free stuff under a capitalist system or capitalist enterprise. It's privately owned and controlled by the ownership class, or the ownership of that business. That's not the workers. And socialism is when the workers have the control or ownership of a enterprise. Not just the top brass. The shareholders and the owners themselves, the deed holders, and the employees got to do what their boss says or they get fired. But anyway, before I meander way off in the whereverville, let me know if you could, let me know how and why this should happen. If it's just straight up propaganda, or if it's just conflationary, efforts that twisted it slowly over time to basically mean this. Because even a lot of socialists and leftists and even centrists, they confuse the idea of social programs with socialism, because social's in the word. And to me, it's not really congruent, and its meaning that social programs can happen under socialism or socialist system, or under a capitalist system. Okay, so it's like So what's the differentiation? So if you guys could let me know that, I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of New Socialist Era, and I will see y'all around.